Alright guys, welcome back to LiveStream Under the Moonshine number 318. This is my playthrough of the horror visual novel, The Letter. Guys, I don't know if I'm making the right pass through this to get the best ending. I'm just making the choices that I think at the time will best serve the people that I'm starting to care about in this visual novel. We're going through now with part 2 of Luke. In the first part I did last, episode number 317, in part 26 of the letter, we played Luke for the first time, and we saw that it's definitely not changing our perspective of Luke at all. He's still the same old arrogant, stubborn asshole that we've always known him as. We're just seeing things from his point of view. And we're seeing that he also has horrors. He's haunted by nightmares of his own mother. And he's also being targeted by this haunting of the mansion, if you would. And while he was in the gardens tending to some flowers in the most recent evening, he was basically welcomed by a supposed maid of the mansion that he had never met. And he thought he had sent everybody home for the day, and was wondering why this beautiful maid was basically presenting herself and essentially throwing herself at him to spend time with him. And he felt like it was, he felt like something was wrong, because typically he would go all over that. He has no problem cheating on his wife, Hannah. But he felt something was wrong, and sure enough, this beautiful maid turned into the same old evil zombie bitch thing that we've seen many times throughout this visual novel, trying to lure him in to, I guess, kill him. So, Luke, even though he's the owner and the evil son of a bitch that he is of this mansion, he is definitely not safe from all that is the haunting of this mansion. So we ended Sunday night and we moved on to Monday, and so let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. This will be part 2 of Luke. I hope you guys all are enjoying it. Let's go ahead and continue where we left off. I didn't get any sleep, not a single wink. I was so busy jumping at every shadow and worrying about waking with a knife in my chest, or not waking up at all. Even when Hannah wakes, in spite of a mild fever, and goes downstairs for breakfast, I just stay in bed, thoughts of poisoned food running in my head. The rain that has started sometime during the night doesn't help the mood. Oh, actually, it's not today that's the big moment that we had with Hash. I think it was Tuesday morning. Okay, so we got another day left. Okay, maybe it just helps a little. The strange sunny weather has been nice and all, but for it to return as it should feels like a good sign of things to come. Perhaps things will settle back to normal, and the crazy drama that has gone on lately will die down. I would hate to be caught unaware in this rain. And with how it looks outside, it seems that the weather is making up for all the sunny days it's given us with good old-fashioned downpours. The rhythmic pitter-patter of the rain fills the early morning silence with a steady beat. Thank goodness I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry today. I would hate to be caught unawares in this rain. With how it looks outside, it seems that the weather is making up for all the sunny days it has given us with a good old-fashioned downpour. It does let up within a quarter of an hour. However, a day beginning with a cloudburst like this, locals usually take it as an immediate sign. Luxborn's abysmal weather is back, but likely for good. I hope they did a damn good job of fixing this place, because I'd rather not have to deal with leaky roofs. I don't like the idea that the reality did a horrid patch job with the place. Well, Hana technically paid millions for this place. It better live up to the price the realty company sold it for. Roof problems aside, she's going to be a definite downer about this as well. She hates the rain. Then again, who actually does? What sane person would like it when 9 out of 10 days consist of nothing but dark, drab, and gray skies and piss water pouring from the heavens. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Piss water pouring from the heavens. Hey, I guess I'm insane because I actually love gray skies and rain and thunder. But maybe not 9 out of 10 days, but I definitely like rain. And she was just starting to enjoy the sunlight. I will have to get up and shoot eventually. That is a given. Oh, what did I say? Let's read that again. I will have to get up and about eventually. That is a given. But I'm not too keen on seeing or talking to Hannah before she leaves for the hospital. Or eventually, in a few days' time, this bloody house, Kylie won't like it if she comes here, only to find me in a bad mood. Few would dare rouse me from bed. Being able to keep their jobs is incentive enough. I trust they realize that now is a good time to force me into anything. Not a good time, rather. Maybe I can just get an hour or two of sleep before Suarez drops his brat off at the mansion steps. If only. But as always, somebody has to be a buzzkill.
Are you really going to stay in bed all day?
What do you want?
You must have been really rattled by what happened yesterday. If you need to talk about it, I am quite qualified in that regard.
And you aren't even the slightest bit bothered? Truly? Not even the slightest bit worried?
I was worried. But I realized that it's not my life in danger, is it? My worrying will not help matters. Neither will yours.
Well, that's the truth. Loath as I am to admit it, he is right. Still, it's more frustrating when he doesn't give me the time to concede his point.
I know you two aren't getting along.
Yeah, that's true enough. Alright, nosy bugger.
But you should at least see the madam off before we leave. Think of her as a business associate if you must. It would not do to part on bad terms.
Right?
It's far too early to deal with your nosiness.
That's none of his business. None of it. If he remembers his place, he'll drop it. I don't want to talk to Hannah. Not now. When I'm so high-strung and paranoid. This whole thing is a bloody mess with everything going off at once. I'm not afraid that, with our troubles, I will misinterpret anything she might say or do. Actually, I need to read that again. I'm not afraid. Yeah, I don't know where I got not from. I'm afraid that, with our troubles, I will misinterpret anything she might say or do. That just make the whole thing worse.
Are there any updates about the woman?
Being in the dark has me on edge. Information, any at all, might very well help me in calming down.
I've already briefed security about her, and more from the agency will be arriving tonight. But they haven't seen anyone fitting the description.
So you have nothing then? Fat lot of use you guys are. What do I even pay you for? Do me a favor. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on your way out.
Now, come on, Luke.
Well, there is something. It's about McCulloch.
Can anyone blame me if I show the tiniest bit of interest? She's still not done with the house. And she's a nice enough woman. Yeah, we remember him hitting on her in the bar, I think we remember. When we were way back when we were playing McCulloch's point of view. I think that was chapter 2 or 3. And this Luke guy, arrogant bastard he is, made a pass at her, big passes at the bar when he was there alone, trying to cheat on his wife. And basically told her, we need to go to your apartment and see what happens, basically. And the woman actually fell prey to his bullshit, took him back to her apartment. And I believe, if I remember right, I mean, this is months ago when I read this, but I believe we had a choice to either give in to him or kick him the hell out before, you know, what happened. And we made that choice to kick him away. Mainly because she brought up feelings before she gave in to temptation. She brought up feelings of having still having strong feelings for another woman, a romance with another woman. I don't remember exactly who it was, but she definitely had strong feelings for another woman. And I believe she admitted to having strong feelings for his own wife, Hannah. And of course, she didn't know at the time that this was Hannah's husband. But something about her made her miss this woman in her past. and she didn't feel right about it or whatever, so we made the choice that, a plausible choice that she would probably not give in because of her, her flags, red flags raising up. And so he didn't take that too well, but he got rejected by her. But this is the same woman that we're talking about. She's a nice enough woman. Plans to go back to sleep are gone now.
I called her secretary about taking the day off. He hasn't heard from her over the weekend.
She's probably passed out after enjoying a pint or two or 10 in a bar somewhere. She's an adult. It was the weekend. She's allowed to disappear and not think about work. Fuck. I wish I was passed out after a night of drinking. He does know that mobiles are a thing.
That's all well and good, but she's not answering her mobile either. Mr. Parker will be filling a missing persons case with the police if she doesn't turn up today.
Yeah, we know from Ash's point of view what happened to her. He was trying to come in and get some information and inquire about a person we know, and she actually fell in a hidden part of this mansion, almost a dungeon-looking part of the mansion that maybe even Luke doesn't know about. And she fell into a cell, an old, cell, in part of, the deep, dark dungeon part of this mansion, and Ash found her in there and was able to help her get the door open and get out. But that's where she is. Certainly, someone must know where she is. Tabs are kept without fail on people who come to work with me. Background checks and constant surveillance until they're finished their contracts with the rights. Some would say that's a bit over the top, but I still can't be too safe. Too many people want me dead.
What about one of ours? Has anyone seen her? She's pretty hard to miss with how tall the woman is.
The last anyone has seen of her was here, the morning of the party. Your housewarming party.
Well, that isn't good news.
It wouldn't do for the police to hear of this and to suspect.
It's a little important that I can easily prove my innocence. It's all a matter of principle. Because even the accusation of misdemeanor should not strain my reputation, although maybe it's a bit too late to hope for a squeaky clean one. Besides, it'll be such a hassle to have police poking about the house looking for a body that doesn't even exist.
Now, if we're done here, I'd like to go back to sleep and...
It's a little girl. I think she's his niece, if I remember right. Well, there goes any plans for grabbing some shut-eye. Rolling over on my stomach, I can only scream into my pillow.
Of course, of course. Ah.
Huh.
Johans, distract her.
Oh, look, it's time for me to go. Have fun with your little play date. So long, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
No, Johans, don't you turn away from me. Keep her busy for an hour. Come on.
Oh, God. I have to press my face against the pillow once more to suppress a groan. You just can't get loyal help anymore.
Hello there, little Fraulein. Your uncle is just upstairs and will be down in a moment.
Yep, look how uncle is spelled. I thought that's weird. But yeah, that is his niece.
She is super excited to have you today. I hope you're well rested and ready to play a lot.
She is an adorable little girl, I give her that.
That bastard.
Little blue-haired girl.
I'll be down in a sec, Munchkin. Let me just...
Change into a fresh shirt, brush my teeth, fix my hair, bemoan my very existence. Wish I was anywhere else in the world right now but here. Don't get me wrong, Kylie is a great kid, wonderful, better than most brats her own age. But handling a tyke is the last thing I want on my agenda right now with this whole Hana business. Fortunately, I'm well versed in how the world works. I've long learned that the show must go on, no matter what hurdles come my way. So I set to preparing for the day. Running a comb through my hair is just divine and simply makes me feel more human. Bed hair is disgusting, though it isn't as bad now as when I was a child. With how expensive a trip to the barber's was, I often had to grow it out until Mother had the time to cut it for me. The curls and tangles were simply horrid. Why, I was even mistaken as a little girl because of that. It certainly doesn't help that I was named Lucille. Oh my god. A freshly pressed shirt is enough to chase away the last signs of sleepiness. The feel of the crisp and clean cloth in my hands is a clear marker for the start of a day. But something catches my eye. My clothes and personal effects are already set on the dresser for the day. Boxers, trousers, belt, and socks on one side with my shirt, jacket, and tie on the other. It's always the same things. Always. Cufflinks, colognes, and anything else I would like to add stays in the dresser for me to choose from. It's all routine. However, among the silvers, the grays, and the red is a tiny blue box.
Now, what is this?
The thing is small and light, fitting in the palm of my hand. Too big to be a ring box, but too large to be a watch box. Looking at it closer, I see that it's one of my handkerchiefs used for wrapping. It's easy enough to untie the knot and reveal the plain box inside. An odd and quaint way to wrap up a gift, I suppose. Though presentation should be the last thing I need to be worried about here. Mail, packages, gifts, and the likes are supposed to be vetted before they get to me. In the morning, Johannes would hand me a list of things I need to look over and go through. Yet there was no forewarning about this. Immediately, I dropped the thing as if it burned me.
I shouldn't have touched that. I shouldn't have touched that.
What the hell? He's going a little bit nuts, isn't he, over a wrapped gift on his dresser? It very well might have. Without security going over it, it could be a nasty gift for me. Boy, he is so fearful of anybody trying to kill him or planting a bomb or anything, because he is an evil man, and it's obvious that he is very disliked by many in the town of Luxborn. So, yeah, I guess it's understandable. I can still remember when a security guard died to contact poison that covered an innocent enough birthday card, for fuck's sake. But as the box hits the ground, it spills its contents. What I see makes my stomach turn. What the hell? What the hell? An eyeball still with its nerve ending, mucus and all, plops to the ground, and I have to fight the urge to gag as it rolls and stares up at me. That was definitely a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. That is pretty frightening. Could you imagine having a gift wrapped on your dresser and having it be a freaking eyeball? Jesus Christ.
Oh god, that's sick. That is sick. It's still wet. My bloody fucking... That is disgusting.
It damn sure is disgusting. Holy cow, who the hell did that? Was this a zombie bitch thing? A haunting of this house? It must be. I'm not a stranger to being sent threats, but this has to be the first time I've ever been sent a body part. Even I don't do that. Yet there's no note or sign to as who may have sent it, or how the hell they got it here. If this is a threat, it's a piss-poor way of doing it, considering it lacks proper planning outside the shock factor that's now sending a body part affords them. Do I even know anyone whose eyes are the same shade? Not Hana's, no. Definitely not. They aren't as pretty, and they aren't the right color. Johannes? Mr. or Miss Lee? Suarez? Nicola? No, the color isn't familiar at all. Though honestly, it's not like I take the time to memorize each and every person's eye. I wonder if this could be Zach's eye, because we remember what happened to Zach in the jail cell. Oh, fuck. I really wonder if this could be Zach's eye. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me go and find... I'm looking on Steam right now. I wonder, because we know Zach's eyes were gorged out of his head when Ash found his good buddy Zach in the jail cell. And we know Luke had Zach put in jail. I'm just wondering, I'm looking for a picture of Zach now on the Steam page. I'm not seeing one. Wait a minute. I just saw it. Where is it? Fuck, I can't tell. Oh, here it is. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys. We don't have a big picture of him. But those eyes do look green. Do they not? Let me see if I can find him in the trailer. Hang on. We're not going to turn the sound up. I want to see if I can... I'm really just wondering if this is Zach's eye. His eyes are green. This is motherfucking Zach's eye. God damn. I mean, it makes sense with his eyes found gouged out in the jail cell. His body dead. Holy shit. Alright. Yep. Oh my god. I mean, we don't know for sure, but definitely... Oh, that's creepy. This is definitely the haunted bitch that killed Zach that has presented this gift to Luke. Man. We thought Luke was evil. Yeah, it ain't as evil as this whatever is haunting this house and killing people. This could be anyone's, from a guard or a maid or one of the other 100 people I'd have to deal with. Kylie can't see this. The kid is tough, but this would traumatize her. Grabbing the handkerchief back that was used for the wrapping, I try and pick up the eyeball to dispose of it. Emphasis on try. Yeah, no shit. Contact, even with a fabric, has me gagging. The thought of squishing it and covering my fingers with a slick and slime of it made me recoil. But the slightest of touch of it to make an eyeball roll towards the bed. Yikes, that's fucking creepy as shit, man. Here he is trying to take a handkerchief and pick it up with a handkerchief because he definitely doesn't want to touch it. But it's slipping under the handkerchief and sliding around under his bed. Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine that. And in my mad scramble to make a grab for it, it rolls away even further. Farther under the bed until it's in the smack dab middle. That sounds like my fucking luck. There, it just taunts me from where it sits, out of my reach. Green iris fixed on me again, perhaps judging my poor attempts to get it.
What the hell is this?
That is so fucking creepy, man. Yeah, I even feel bad for Luke as much as I hate him right now. I washed my hand of this, quite literally, at that. Though I wish it isn't easier said than done. The nagging in the back of my head, the voice that tells me I need to be more cautious about this, refuses to push the matter aside. While it is true that it is cause for concern without demands for anything of the like, worrying will do little to help here. Looking around the room, I tried to see if any other presents had been left behind, and to my relief, aside from that blue box, nothing else is out of place. The most I can do right now is alert the present security staff about this breach. Watch out for any other threats. If they have a message for me, they'll most likely send it with their next gift. Whoever has sent this eye, I would assume, is more to shake me up more than anything else at the moment. Yeah, I was definitely meant to put fear in his soul. It'll be best to act as if this didn't happen. No need to make a child worry about it either. Yeah, why would you tell the child? Why would you tell your niece? She doesn't need to know. Like, I don't even know why that's a thought in his head. Like, why would he even consider, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell my 8-year-old niece, or however old she is. Smoothing down my suit and my hair with a sigh, I steel myself for the horrors. The horrors that come with taking care of a child now. And while I try to forget the horrors that came in the box...
Good morning to you, Luke.
Speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Kylie grins up at me as soon as I open the bedroom door. Yeah, she's freaking adorable. And again, listen to the music. I love the music in this visual novel. She swings a backpack she's clutching. hitting my leg in a show of impatience and looking entirely unapologetic for it. So the music has completely helped change the mood of the game from a dark and horrific Luke opening an eyeball in his own bedroom to now kind of a cheerful, somber, cheery kind of tune because of his lovely, adorable little niece visiting him in his mansion. Just love it.
Did you just wake up? Don't tell me you forgot. It's our play date today.
Aw. Oh, I doubt I'd forget. Kylie's visits are a frequent enough thing that I've found a way into my schedule. They're supposed to be visits to her godmother. But we can't pick who a child gets along with. So long as I'm not busy, her father can drop her off for the day. Which is all well and good for me, if it makes for his focus on work I've given him. Besides, she's a bright child. She's tolerable. Kid's got a good head on her shoulders, and can get pretty mature for her age at times. Of course, they have to thank me for that. Her parents can take partial credit, but Hana and I have been there for this kid since she was just a small baby. Why can I still remember the first time I saw her? It was during her baptism. The only reason I was there was to accompany Hana, who was to be named her godmother. She was such a tiny little thing, not even a year old, and swaddled in her mother's arm in white cloth. It was the first time I really saw an infant up close enough to hold one, at least. It had been terrifying to be given a little child to carry after the whole water ceremony. I've never done so before that, to hold a tiny little life in my arms. I could have just dropped her on her head, and this little tyke before me never would have stopped existing then and there. Man, that's a rude thing to say or think, isn't it? I know he's not saying it, but he's thinking it. I could have just dropped her on her head, and this little tyke before me would have stopped existing then and there. Why would he think such a morbid thought? Why would you have a niece that you love, such an adorable little girl, and think, oh, the first time I held her when she was an infant, I could have dropped her on her head and she would be dead? Like, what the fuck kind of sick thought is that? What the hell, this guy's fucking evil, and, like, man, I just don't know how somebody could think that of any part of their family. That's morbid. But the child just smiled at me, babbling nonsensical words as children do, and clinging to me, even as I try hard to hand her off to Hana. She had the thought of it hilarious and adorable. My suit had been a mess, and I was nearly an anxious wreck by the time I handed her back to her mother. Yet, it was pleasant, too. So he's still talking about, when he first met her, that he tried to hand her off back to Hana. Not right now.
Of course I didn't, you little rugrat. I just had to take care of something before you arrived.
Really? Well, I guess that's fine. As long as he told me for work like last time.
Really? Now why don't we go back down and have breakfast in the parlor?
I already ate at home. Papa made one of his tortillas de patatas. He wouldn't let me leave until I finished every bite.
Oh, so she's full. Oh, the Suarez's infamous tortilla de patatas. Those things are just a hazard. You could probably use one to bludgeon someone into submission with how huge they are. It's a miracle Kylie can still be so energetic. I had trouble staying awake the first time I had one. Speaking of staying awake...
Well, I need some coffee in me at the very least. But if you'd like, you can jump straight to dessert.
Yes! Dessert, please!
She's so adorable. It's easy enough to manage Kylie with the promise of sweets, thankfully. The hard part is managing her before she gets the sweets, because I nearly have a heart attack when the kid races down the stairs. Just the thought of her slipping and breaking her damn neck is enough to make me rush down after her.
Oh, slow down, the food isn't going anywhere.
The food is going somewhere. In my tummy.
That's cute.
Jesus fucking Christ. Children.
And with a shake of my head, I usher Kylie towards the parlor and order a maid to bring food for us. Whatever breakfast there is, along with a cup of coffee for me, and an ice cream for Kylie. But I can't leave the kid alone for too long unless I want to let her turn to the other room. Or unless I want to let her turn the other room into a slaughtering ground. True to my expectations, I've only left Kylie alone for just a few moments when she's already made herself comfortable. The stuff from her backpack has been left scattered across the room, from coloring books and crayons to toys. She's well equipped to amuse herself with no trouble, though I can certainly breathe a little easier if she won't bring all her dolls along every time she visits. Narcissa, or Sissa, is a creepy little booger. It doesn't help when Kylie left her during one. Finding the thing at the bottom of the stairs, staring up at me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning is a memory that won't be leaving me anytime soon. Even now, it stares at me from where it's seated. I'm wholly tempted to just throw the thing in the fireplace and banish it from whence it came. That kind of reminds me of my thoughts about Cabbage Patch Kids, back when Cabbage Patch Kids were a thing. I was a kid, but yeah, I could never imagine why people were paying ridiculous prices for Cabbage Patch Kids back in the days. Those things have always looked creepy. I can buy her a prettier doll, a better toy. I will break it, find a way to get rid of it. If it wasn't from Hannah, and if only Kylie isn't so attached to it. The thing is, some antique doll she found for the brat's 6th birthday. One of a kind. My darling Hannah loves her so. And Kylie does try to be a good granddaughter, but she just can't keep her interest long with the wife. And it's not something that Hannah does wrong on her part. She does try very, very hard. It's just that she doesn't quite know how to really handle children that well. She had never been around other children when she was young, surrounded by protective adults who catered to her every whim and worried for her safety every single minute. And when she isn't able to keep up with Kylie, her first instinct is to be strict. Impose rules on the child, treat her as if she is made of spun glass, like every movement might break her. I, at least, have some idea from being around street kids. I know the games they played, and how they think. I know that scraps and skinned knees are all part of childhood. Even with how I grew up, I had time to be a child and not some sheltered heiress. And with Kylie? As behaved as she can be, with her toys and her books and arts, she has to use up all her energy somehow. To run around the playground and make a mess in the mud, or to even fake wrestle for a short while, let her be a child when she wants, I'd say. If it becomes too much, just bribe her with sweets and ship her back to Papa. Problem solved. Oh boy. Unfortunately, Hannah isn't quite up for those sorts of things most of the time, thinking that it'll spoil the child. It turns a whole playdate awkward every time. Taking the last seat left, I pluck one of the coloring books from the table and see it filled with dinosaurs. Not exactly what I expect to see for a little girl, but it doesn't hurt anyone. If she wants to play with dolls and cars, or dolls with her cars, what do I care? She once put dolls Tudis on model cars even.
Oh, this is a new one. The last one you had was filled with horses, wasn't it?
Those were ponies, Tio. They're much cuter than horses. But we went to a dinosaur zoo, and it was awesome!
Oh, makes sense.
Siri, dinosaurs are my favorite.
I have no idea what that is, but it must be something. I'm only familiar with the T-Rex myself.
Yeah, they found, fossils of its claws. They're really long. They think the whole theory might be a bazillion meters tall, even bigger than a T-Rex.
A bazillion meters tall, huh?
Cisa says it'll be big enough to eat all of my classmates.
Oh boy. He only laughs as I scrunch up my nose and grimace.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
Taka who?
Takako, a friend I made.
I have to stop and look around, expecting to see one of the help to be there. The child does have a way of befriending just about anyone, as long as she puts her mind to it. Yet, the two of us are completely alone here. Thankfully, she only finds my disturbed look as another funny grown-up expression. That might be a lot more problematic than whether she plays with dolls or cars, though. Both the thoughts of Sisa giving Kylie ideas, and one of said ideas being massacred by a dinosaur. Something I probably need to bring up with her father aside from work. But beyond murderous dinosaurs, creepy dolls, and imaginary friends, I find no trouble with Kylie. She's as energetic and precautious as any tyke her age can be. She's an angel if she can get comfy and settled in after getting her sweets. We tuck into our waffles as soon as the food is brought in. Our waffles, because she wanted her own plate to go with the ice cream as soon as she saw mine. A fresh plate of berries is brought in as well, which really goes great with the rest of this feast, as Kylie puts it. And if I indulge in the sweetness, I have a cup of black coffee to pair with it as well. And with our bellies full, Kylie grows content with just scribbling on a scrap of paper and calmly chatting about her week. She talks of her older brother, Rowan, and their parents, how they plan to go to the Blockslad in Berkshire for the winter holidays. She talks of Miss Pink, and I have to shift my legs to become comfortable once more, the memory of my initial meeting with her still fresh in my mind. The little brat is quick to defend her favorite academic as well. The woman has yet to offer a proper apology, and she wishes to give one on her behalf, all diplomatic-like I taught her. She talks of the sad man in the park, and of her new friend who likes to play hide-and-seek when she's not sniffing in the loo. And finally, she finds nothing new to talk about, or when she finds nothing new to talk about, she goes back to her drawings. That'll change as soon as her stomach settles, of course, the calm before the storm. Because behaved as she is right now, I can feel the curiosity just radiating off of her. There's a restlessness buzzing under her skin and a question on the tip of her tongue, as they often are with children her age. But for now, I can take this piece with no complaints for however long it lasts. I have fun with the crayons as well, as a child's assistance, even if I can't really draw. And with Kylie using the black crayon, that leaves me with a blue one. I absentmindedly start to draw a puppy, the best of my abilities. It's as I attempt to give the doodle dogs another eye that Kylie breaks her silence.
Tio? Where did Tia go? I saw them leave when I got here. Tia didn't look so good.
Aw. I've been expecting a lot of different questions. The kid always has a whole bunch of them ready for me. But I can only sigh when she's posed this particular one.
She's just going to the doctor's for a checkup.
And as kids go, there are follow-up questions. Yep,
And
always.
you didn't go with her?
Well, you were going to be here, sweetie, so I had to stay behind.
So she's all alone? At the hospital?
Aw, listen to her voice. She's so concerned.
Oh, no, of course not. Tia has her Hans and her maid and a guard. She's got plenty of company.
Yeah, but you're not with her.
If I didn't know better, I'd say the kid is trying to make me feel guilty. Though I don't know if the bitter taste in my mouth is that or something else entirely. I really don't have time to process what the emotion is that the brat opens her mouth again.
You should have gone with her to the hospital. Hospitals are scary, you know.
I mean, she's not wrong, right?
Exactly why I didn't go. I don't like hospitals, Kylie. That's all there is to it.
So you're not angry at Tia?
Why would I be angry at her? It isn't her fault she got sick.
I heard you and Tia are fighting.
Oh, wow.
I heard that you might not be together anymore.
Well, that's true enough. How the hell did you hear that, though? I have to stop her right there. Sure, it's easy for people to jump to conclusions and presume that we might be fighting. No thanks to Rochelle. But it's not common knowledge that things have actually gone sour and, to put it in her terms, that we might not be together anymore.
Oh, well, where did you hear this from?
I heard it from a nice maid lady. But that's still no excuse. Not when she's sick.
Well,
She needs someone to hold her hand and bring her soup and make her drink medicine.
look at that. She actually sounds sad. That's so adorable. I'm livid. Livid is one of my employees might gossip, and to a child of all people. Who says such upsetting things to a child? But my anger dies out when Kylie starts to tear up. She holds it back in an effort to not seem so childish, I assume. Though I am honestly confused as why such news would upset her so much.
Oh, no. Look, Kylie, there's no need to cry.
I'm not going to cry.
Are you sure? You've got no reason to cry. Even if Hana and I won't be together anymore, you can still visit me and I can still visit you.
That's not the problem. Why don't you and Tia love each other anymore?
That sounds like something, this is so realistic. That definitely sounds like something a little kid, however old she is, would ask. You know, if she got word that her uncle and auntie that she loves dearly may not be together anymore. Kids are so inquisitive and they're so blunt.
I still love her, Munchkin, and I'd like to think your Tia still does too.
Isn't that the truth? I love her. I'm just total shit at showing it. And a small part of me screams that I was not worthy to be your husband in the first place, no matter how hard I try and deny it. Perhaps in another time, another place, another me, I would have confessed the whole world is nothing compared to her.
So why are you two fighting? You grown-ups are so stupid sometimes.
I can't agree. Why? Because I'm a prat, probably. Motioning for her to come closer, I wrap my arms around her and rub her back in an attempt to comfort the child. Only when I feel her tears soak into my jacket that I realize that there might be something else to her worries. I've heard Suarez is not getting along too well with his wife as of late, because of how busy he is with work. Really, I was wholly tempted to just brush her question off and say that it's a grown-up thing. I could content myself into pretending that this isn't happening. But it seems like she needs to hear this. That it just makes all the more painful to try and explain this because I have to explain it not only for Kylie, but I have to explain it for myself as well.
Sometimes, people fall out of love. Or they think they've fallen out of love and need time apart. It's not necessarily a bad thing. They might be angry at each other, or they might feel sad. They need time for themselves to think about each other, to know if there is still love. Maybe they'll be back together again. Or maybe it's better for both of them to move on, instead of staying together and hurting each other pretending they still love each other.
That's true enough. Those are very true words from Luke, as much as I hate him. Oops, sorry guys. There is nothing final, but here we are, at a crossroads where one wrong step might end in heartbreak. Hannah thinks we need some time apart, but we aren't done just yet.
But yes, grown-ups can be rather stupid.
Well, at least he acknowledges and agrees with Kylie.
You're still gonna be my friend, no matter what, Teal?
Of course, my life would be less exciting without a little brat like you running around and making a mess of it.
He calls her a little brat right to her face.
And you better stay my friend, even when I get all old and wrinkly.
Kylie's shoulder shakes in laughter as she pulls away and gives me a toothy grin.
You're already old!
That's funny.
But don't worry. When you die, I'll burn you and put you in a jar so I can keep you forever! Just like they did with Abuelo!
My thoughts come to a grinding halt at her words, yet she goes on as if she hasn't just said such an odd thing. Why, it almost seems like the kite is looking forward to my funeral. That's funny. And if there is no confessed expression on my face, She pulls me back to our drawings, commenting on the state of my weird dog.
I think your puppy would look better magenta.
Alright, in the afternoon now on Monday, I don't think I can spend any more time with Kylie considering how high-strung I feel right now. So it is a good thing that Suarez came for her as soon as I called. Though it is earlier than the agreed-upon time, he voices no complaints. The bastard even has a look of relief as soon as they left. Or at least I interpreted it as such from where I stood by one of the windows, not bothering to step out and greet the man. No doubt, he still doesn't trust me around his spawn. Well, he has every right to be suspicious of me. I am, in fact, a dangerous man, after all. But to my chagrin, that leaves me with the rest of the day with nothing to do. Well, aside from picking up the mess Kylie left scattered about the parlor, and to my immense relief, she remembered to take her baby doll home with her this time. But the same cannot be said for the crayons and papers littered here and there. First things first, I snatch my own doodle off the table and rip it to shreds, leaving no hope that it will ever see the light of day. The rest of the drawings, all Kylie's, remain unharmed as I collect the lot. Though they have been stacked neatly on the table before, they must have been blown about when I saw Kylie off. And there are plenty of them. From cats and cakes to colorful rainbows and gardens, the child managed to make a lot during her morning here. There is one more that I have to fish out in the fireplace where it landed. Expecting to see another one of Kylie's masterpieces, I am instead greeted with something a bit more concerning. Oh my god. Wow. This is... I mean, we should have known it was going to be... I knew it was going to be something messed up, but Jesus Christ. There is me, and there's Kylie, the two of us side by side, and smiling as our stick figure selves stand in a nondescript field. So basically, that's Kylie, that's him, and that is his wife, Hannah. Jesus Christ. That much I can ascertain without looking at the labels below the doodle's feet. But a third figure stands next to me in the drawing. A woman with her face hidden behind a curtain of black. Takako, the writing under her supplies.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
Taka who?
Takako, a friend I made.
Oh, I thought that was the word for Hannah. No, that's her friend. Okay. Taka, a friend I made. What? She made a friend of the evil zombie bitch? What the hell? The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end, and I feel a chill go down my spine. A breath. That isn't mine. That has me turning around, expecting, hoping even to see someone. Anyone. But there's nothing. And that's when I hear it. Laughter, sweat, and a merry laughter ringing from the ballroom. Thinking about it has my cheeks burning and my blood running hot, as if I'm being mocked. As I stomp towards the door, I have to stop myself from shouting up a storm. I expect to see some of the help dallying about, idle from their duties. Perhaps they thought they could slack off in their duties without the head butler around, and with my preoccupation with Kylie. Well, they had another thing coming here. But again, nothing. Nothing from what I can see with a cursory glance, at the very least. I roam around looking for near impossible hiding places, and still, I'm all alone. Yet I can still hear the laughter, that accursed laughter, echoing about in the room, and in my head.
Who's there? Show yourselves and show some respect to the master of the house!
Cold uneasiness settles into my stomach when no one answers. I stumble on my own 2 feet, feeling a wave of nausea come from nowhere. I have to put a hand against the wall to stay upright when the world shifts and pain explodes from behind my eyes. It takes every ounce of my self-control to not heave then and there. The only thing my pride allowed me to do then is to close my eyes and attempt to alleviate some of the pain. Vague, unfamiliar images, dare I say memories not mine, flash in my head, unbidden and unwelcome. Like a strong hammer strike to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. Whatever emotions they hold are muted. I'm nothing but a spectator. Still, its weight feels palpable. Though it doesn't take long for these sensations to get into my head, through my eyes and my ears it creeps and buzzes in the spaces between. It hurts. We've seen this image before. She doesn't want this.
You lacked care. You forget your place, and you've indulged yourself far too much in this fantasy of yours.
This is vile, like vomit and sludge brushing against my skin before it covers me until I'm way down. It's disgusting. It's wrong. Stop it!
You've overstepped your boundaries and livery.
Stop it! This is wrong. Please.
May I remind you that you are nothing but a servant, a slave.
Damn.
An unattractive, unchaste harlot who thinks too much of herself.
Please, no more. One after the other, they come at me. An unending flood that threatens to sweep me away for what feels like an eternity. Each one, a show of both joy and suffering for those who have called this mansion their home. Each new scene is like a hammer to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. I can feel every little emotion in the blurry images that present itself in my head. I feel a part of these, like I've lived through them, though I know that is not possible. All their anger burns through me, that much is evident, but the pain more so. And above it all are the whispers. The voices calling, luring until one image emerges into vivid contrast with the others. When there's a shout of joy, my eyes snap open, looking for the culprit. That's when the whole room just changes. Everything is just the same, yet everything isn't. Damn. There are people everywhere, laughing and dancing. I should be concerned about them, but my mind finds it easy to dismiss them as they fade in and out from nothingness. Instead, I find my concentration drawn to a man and a woman, though one can only call them a lord and a lady, going by their clothes. Oh, and just see how happy the couple looks. Though the man's eyes are eerily blank, like he's not at all there, his face is familiar though. In fact, they both are. But I can't quite place why. The two make for a pretty picture as they dance in the center of the ballroom. Even the Phantom's crowd's attention stay on them. It reminds me so much of Hana and I during the early days of our marriage. The honeymoon years, they call it. We were happy then too, all smiles and her sunshine, even with the normal dreary weather. Younger, we had less to worry about, or at least, we thought that way. I wished we could go on that way even with all that I did and had to do. But life has a way of catching up. There was work to be done. Although we had to stay the loving, perfect couple in public, I could not afford to look so weak. To appear tied down to someone else, to those who knew who I really am. I had to harden my heart when I have a business. But it hadn't always been so easy to just switch that part of me on and off. I should be concerned about their intrusion as well. Ask what in bloody hell they are doing in my house, throwing a damn party as if they own the place. I ask myself how the fuck I didn't notice what was going on before, when the parlor and the foyer are both only a few doors away. There's a horrid feeling of envy. And though I have long accepted that I am a jealous person by nature, I have never felt such a strong feeling of envy as I have right now. They were happy with each other, these people. But Hana and I, envy turned into anger. Anger for something I could not have. But I have the feeling that yelling and screaming at them won't do much of anything anyway. None of the others have given me any notice. I realize that this might not even be real. It dawns on me that these two are the people from the paintings, the ones all over the mansion. Which it makes sense. I don't think I'm imaginative enough to make this all up on my own. This must be a dream. Or a really bad high. Just then I can feel eyes on me as I contemplate the absurdity of the situation. Yet I find difficulty in trying to tear my eyes away from the two that are dancing. And I manage. And I regret looking away. The woman from the garden stands beside me. Oh God. I can hear her rattling breath, menacing and chilling. Everything in me screams to run. But something pins me to the spot as she just looks at me, watching and waiting. The clamor of their voices fill the ballroom. Although they say such welcoming words, I do not feel comfortable by the madness that I'm experiencing. Their joyous voices turn sinister and foreboding to my ears. The chorus of people that shouldn't even exist, they threaten to overwhelm me, drown me even as I stand on dry land. The music still plays as the Phantom Quartet continues while I just stand here, vulnerable and afraid. But the dance has already ended, and I'm afraid that I might just be tonight's entertainment. Attention is all well and good until bullocks like this go down. These phantom people, they watch me, thousands of eyes scrutinizing, though they cheer for my return, cajole me to dance and join their merriment. There are eager hands all over, pulling me in every direction, but they do not move me enough to remove me from this woman's gaze.
Listen. Can you not hear them as they welcome you home?
Good God.
Your kind, our kind. You're one of us, my love. We are bonded by the blood we share.
Oh my God. If I thought the voices were overwhelming before, this is nothing compared to how they are now. Their voices are loud, speaking in unison, and echoing over on in the spaces of my head. They welcome me back as if I'll always belong, as if I was meant to be here in the first place. They call me all the titles and names that do not belong to me, and that man's face, the one with the empty eyes, flashes again before me. Once, fleetingly, like a new memory having burned itself into my mind. I have to struggle for air when I come back to myself after.
I'm not. This isn't.
The welcomeness turns into screams at my protest, pained and desperate pleas for my help, telling me that it is my duty to stay, telling me that I belong among them and to them. Gentle touches turn near threatening, the warning scratches and barring of teeth by predators before they truly maim someone. My mouth goes dry as I struggle to speak some sense into this hallucinatory madness, but I don't get the chance as they drown out my own voice.
Our lord, my prince.
At her words, there is a compulsion to stay. Though my heart races in my chest, the fear I should be experiencing refuses to register in my head. Mind and body war with each other, nearly tearing me in two.
Ah, you finally returned to us.
The compulsion to walk into her arms is strong. Whispers in my head tell me to go to her. They say that she is safety, that she is home, and she is heart.
We have been waiting for so long.
Oh boy, this is insanity. But repulsed at those thoughts, I wrench away and turn with a small gasp. Without hesitation, I start to make a run for it. I nearly falter when an angry shriek pierces the air, inhumane and monstrous. I don't dare look back, I just run. I don't care if this is drug-induced hallucination or not. I just run. Out of the damn ballroom. And out of the parlor. It's only then that I bother to look back, hoping and praying to the God I scorn that it did not pursue me. I would have run all the way out of the mansion too, only if someone didn't get in my damn way. I collide with a body much larger than mine and fall back to the ground, my head spinning as I look up at the stained glass. Turning my head to the side replaces the colorful sight with a pair of shiny black shoes. Fatigue fills every inch of my being then, making me refuse to get up. Meanwhile, a familiar head of ginger hair looks down at me in bemusement.
You really must look where you're going if you insist on running about. Do tell, where is the fire?
Oh, thank God you're here.
I do hope you don't have a concussion. Can you count backwards from 15 to 1 for me?
Oh, fuck off, you wanker. Just help me up.
I do not think insulting me if you do have a concussion is a smart decision. But no, really. 15 to 1.
That woman, she was here. I told you to keep an eye out for her.
The other man offers an arm and pulls me up to my feet then. But before I can scorn and pull him to the ballroom, he anchors me down with one hand on my shoulder and the other touching the back of my head.
No bruising or bump. That still does not mean that you don't have a concussion. If you are too lazy to count backwards, can you tell me your full name? Where are you currently?
Damn.
We don't have Lucille Mitchell Wright, and this is the Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer. But we don't have time for this.
You must make and have the time to make sure you are not broken in the head. I have already sent security to scour the whole house when I saw you running out of the parlor, Dummkopf.
That's funny. We got to make sure you are not broken in the head. That's so funny.
If the woman is here, they will have her. You will only be slowing them down if you plan to interfere.
And when he points that out, I realize that there are guards starting to filter into the house as we speak, with them already searching the nearby rooms. Armed and uniformed men go about in pairs, making it so the house is in a flurry of activity. He lets go of me then, with the knowledge that I am not going to kneel over anytime soon.
I was hoping that you would be tired from dealing with the young miss on my return. Instead, you come running and hit your head. Such a troublesome boy. Shall I be carrying you to bed, too?
I can manage just fine on my own. Though I don't see how I can sleep until that woman is caught.
It'll be easier to keep you safe in your quarters. This is twice we've known the woman to break in. I think we can safely presume that you hold her interest.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. He says it as a matter of fact in a tone that brooks no argument. Not like I'll argue if it means that I'll be kept safe. The two of us hurry upstairs, though we remain watchful and wary of any potential threats to my person. It's weird how they say my person when it means to me. We make it to the master bedroom without any trouble, though, and two of the security are left outside my door. No problems at all. Not until we get inside. Johannes' eyes scan the room wildly, a look of dread on his usually stoic face. and I don't understand for a moment. Looking around the bedroom, it's just empty. But then, I realize...
Where's Hana? She came home with you from the hospital, didn't she?
She's supposed to be here. I sent one of the maids to accompany her here, to let her rest.
I feel the color drain from my face when he raises a hand to stop me from charging out of there.
Stay.
I'm not staying in here while Hana stays out there.
One of the guards will find her and bring her here.
And what if they don't? What if that woman gets to her first? What if she already has her?
Oh boy.
That's not possible.
You can't promise that.
There's no second thought as I reach under my side of the bed and pull out one of my knives. Oh boy. I have no doubt that the other men can take me on if we are both unarmed. But with this, I can even the field, or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting either one of us.
I'm going out there to look for Hana, and you're either with me or you aren't. I'm not risking Hana, and I'm not leaving her alone.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that, somehow, I'm losing fast to, even with him not saying a word, yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You are in no proper state to go looking for anyone.
Well, he's got a damn good point there.
If it'll make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one person to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain for virtually everything that has to do with me, I'd like to think that over the years he has grown to care for Hana, at least. Much as I loathe to admit this, I'd trust him with her safety over any servant in this house. An Aquis.
You have 2 hours, Shirokin. I don't think it'll take that long to find one missing woman in this house. 2 hours. Any more than that, and I'm going out there.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure I get in that damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me. But what am I, a child? Watching me and treating me like one? There's the reason why we will never get along.
Well, what are you waiting for?
And the knife?
The knife stays.
Very well.
Only then does he seem to get the hint. And with a nod, he leaves, locks and closes the door behind him. Alright, AC, have a good one, man. Sleep well, buddy. And for a moment, I still hear his voice while he gives the guards outside firm instructions. And then a hush as soon as he departs, and his footsteps fade away. One that doesn't quite last. As quickly as the silence settles, lightning flashes across the sky, followed immediately by the loud boom of thunder. And that wanker strikes so dangerously close that I can feel the electricity in the air. The power goes out not a second later, and I feel as if I'm being mocked by whatever greater power there is. All of this is deathly still for a moment, but soon the rain starts once again. Far heavier than the light drizzle from this morning, its pitter-patter hitting hard against the place's roof. Despite the noise, I find myself drawn to my bed, exhausted, hoping for just a little nap. I'm safe here. Hana will be safe too. Shrocken will find her, and when I wake, she'll be right here. It does not take long. Once my head hits the pillow, in a matter of minutes, darkness claims me, bringing with it laughters and whispers of a twisted love from a time long gone. Oh, here's his dream.
Who are you? Stay away!
Sweet dreams, my love. It'll be over soon.
God damn, that's horrifying. Alright, everybody, so it looks like even Luke isn't avoiding the nightmares and the horrific attempts by this haunted mansion to delve its way into his core and into his soul. So it almost makes you feel bad at times for Luke, especially like the Zack's eyeballs being sent to him and stuff like that to try to rattle him. Like, that's just horrifying. So we saw a lot here with Luke, but now we're on November 1st, Tuesday. We know this is a big finale. We know that we're in for the big finale and something, you know, the epilogue to wrap it all up at the end. So we'll be back with the last episode of my first playthrough of the letter. We'll see what happens, see if I've made any right choices at all, see if everybody dies, what's going to happen in Livestream Under the Moonshine, number 320. That'll be part 28, and we'll see you right back here soon, guys. Peace. Love you all.